For me, the most rewarding part of being an artist is being able to have a vehicle to use my voice to make comment on what's happening in my world at the moment.
I don't have anyone telling me what I can and can't do, and for that, that is very empowering.
I enjoy getting lost in the flow of making the work. I can lose hours being in the studio.
I get to philosophise things in a way that doesn't need an end point, doesn't need resolution, there's no right or wrong.
My mother was an artist and I used to go into her studio in the back room. It just felt like a wonderful place to be with all the brushes, the paper, the canvas.
I'm very interested in patterning and repetition. My mother, my grandmother, my aunts, they all embroidered, they all wove. I find that those traditional handicrafts were a way of uncovering the preoccupations of society.
I think being a woman and its impact on me as an artist is something I try to keep in the background.
I feel like you're up against it when you're a female artist, and society expects that women are the one that carry the bulk of the load when it comes to rearing, raising families, having a home, and you're judged if you don't do it well.
Being a mum has kind of changed the way I actually physically make work now, because I'm a bit more time poor. I'm finding myself spending a lot more time conceptualising and planning with limited time to actually physically make. It's a bit scary because it's easy to lose momentum through that, and you worry, are you going to become a little bit less relevant?
You're making art that not everybody's going to like, and you're going to have a lot of rejection. Society, in a way, does put a bit more pressure on women to step up to the plate, kind of thing. And I've used that to my advantage, I think.
I think women are very powerful and have a lot to say in the arts. Their sort of connection with nature and the mystic and ideas that are sort of beyond the tangible and controllable is something that I think that we now need to be looking at and talking about in the arts.
Bias isn't, as far as I'm concerned, genetic. I believe it's cultural.
Art reflects society. Society is culture. So they're all intermingled and you can't have one without the other.
There is a bias to think that women's art is different than men's art, or in some cases not as good, not as challenging. But I think there's been tremendous progress made with breaking down those barriers.
As an emerging female artist located in Newcastle, I actually feel like I've had a lot of opportunity. I don't feel like being a female artist has impacted my opportunity.
Locally and regionally, I think that the bias is being broken down. If you look at Australia in general, there's a lot of misogyny going on at the moment, and everywhere you turn every day, there's something about that.
I think that we need an absolute upheaval of the human psyche in terms of trying to dominate and repress women, traditional owners of land, nature. It's something that we're only at the beginnings of trying to shift in our culture.
I think that if we all stood up and said, we've had enough of this, then real change would come.